Now, I will say this. Jayson Tatum is right now one of my favorite players in the NBA that's playing currently. And, he has his own accolades. He's done a lot. He's a talented player. But, I want to feel proud about my top players that I watch in the league. All right? Now, I feel proud because look what Jayson Tatum has done. He's definitely got a chip, right? With a lot of help from his boy Jaylen Brown, who I have a lot of respect for. Those two guys are probably the best duo I've seen in a long time. All right. Now, Jayson Tatum, he's a likable guy. He's a humble guy. He's talented. He keeps his head down. He gets to work. He's not about the spotlight. So there's a lot of things I really respect about Jayson Tatum. But the thing is, there's something that all the top players that I watch in the league have that it seems Jayson Tatum doesn't have. And even though he's a champion, he's won a championship, right? He didn't get the MVP for that finals. And the thing that I'm thinking that he's lacking, that most of the players that most of my favorite players have, may have kept him from getting that MVP final, right? And that thing that I feel like he may be lacking is that killer instinct, man. Now, what inspired me to make this video is that game between the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. Now, let's get the obvious out of the way, okay? Jaylen Brown wasn't playing, right? Porzingis wasn't playing. Hasn't been playing for some time now. Fine, okay? And this isn't even about which team won. It has nothing to do with that. The thing is, now, at the beginning of the game, the first 5 minutes, I'd say, it was Derek White. Derek White getting the threes, making big plays. And, I seen that killer instinct in Derek White's eye. I could see it. I don't see it in Jayson Tatum. And it's not to say he doesn't have the killer instinct in him when he's playing. It's just, I don't see it. Like, the look in Derek's eyes, the look that I seen from Derek White is that killer instinct that I'm talking about. So I was able to visualize it in Derek White. Okay? Now, the Boston Celtics were up by about 11 points to start the game. In the first 5 minutes of the game, they got up 11 points. Okay? Once Derek White came out of the game, the league slowly started to diminish. Right? Now, I seen Tatum doing a lot of the facilitating, like a lot more playmaking than trying to, score and whatnot. And that might not be his fault. That might have a lot to do with the coaching and what the coach's expectations are of the team. So maybe Jayson Tatum's just playing within the system. Okay? So I'm not putting this all on him. But the thing is, right? When I'm watching two players, I'm watching Stephen Curry, who is pretty much, you could say, closer to the end of his career than the beginning, for sure. And Jaylen Brown, closer to the beginning of his career than the end. Now, Stephen Curry's still a scary player. He's still a guy, when you play him, teams fear him, even if it's just him. Because really, when you think about it, it really is just Steph Curry on the Warriors right now. But teams go in there with that fear that, oh man, we got to go up against Curry. And there's a few reasons why. Because you know that Curry is a problem because guess what? It's either he's going to score or he's going to play make, right? The thing is, I don't think teams are as scared of Jayson Tatum scoring because he doesn't have as much in the bag. He's not as quick, obviously, as Steph Curry, and he's definitely not as good a shooter as Steph Curry. So I understand these things, right? But when the game is on the line, when you're at certain points of the game, like let's say just before the half is when, the Warriors really got their strength, right? And felt like, you know what, we could win this game. And that is the time where Jayson Tatum has to instill that fear in the other team, right? Get to the basket, score. So you gotta have a method of scoring. You gotta have an easy way of getting to the basket. You gotta have your go-to, right? Really, what I seen from Jayson Tatum is just passing off the ball. And if you're gonna pass off the ball for someone else to miss, I'd rather you go work out something. I'd rather you miss that basket rather than you pass it off for someone else to miss the basket, whether it's Drew Holiday or Derek White, And again, like I said, a lot of this might have to do with the system that he's probably forced to play a certain way in the Boston Celtics system. So I'm gonna keep that in mind, right? But the thing that I'm seeing is that there's a good possibility that when teams go up against Boston, if Jaylen Brown's not playing, I feel like most teams feel like, you know what, we could get this game. And I don't think that they fear Jayson Tatum. That's my only problem, because he's not. Look, people fear killers. That's why I talk about the killer instinct. People fear someone who's coming to the court to kill you. That's what Kobe did. Kobe, Jordan, those guys are coming to the court to kill you. There's no questions asked. No, it's not going to be an attempted murder. No, they're coming in with the intention to kill, right? And that's just not what I'm seeing with Jayson Tatum. And like I said, I got a lot of love for the guy. He's one of my favorite players playing in the league right now. But just watching that game, I felt like I feared Steph Curry more than Jayson Tatum. And where Jayson Tatum is in his career versus where Steph Curry is in his career, I don't think that should be the case. Okay, like the body language, I'm just not seeing it, right? Like versus I know Jayson Tatum really looks up to Kobe, and I'm telling you, Kobe's body language, his facial expressions when it comes to certain points of the game, and the fact that he knows he has to put the team on his shoulders, especially in times like this where you're missing your arguably your second best player on the team in Jaylen Brown. It's got to be on and popping, man. It's got to be on and popping. I just didn't see that against the Golden State Warriors. Let me say some other things, though, too. The Golden State Warriors, even though their team is, not the greatest, they have some players that play pretty well together. And then when you look at the Golden State Warriors staff, they got a good staff who will figure out ways to win games, right? So I get it. Like I said, this is not about winning or losing games. It's about when it comes to certain points of the game. And yes, Jayson Tatum did score 32 points, but to me, it wasn't an effective 32 points. I feel like Steph Curry scored 27? I'm not sure how much assists Steph Curry got, but it was effective. It was effective. Even the assists that Steph Curry got were effective, right? When Steph Curry's driving to the rim, all the attention is on him. Why? Because he's a killer. This guy's going to kill somebody. Everybody's watching him. They're worried. What is he going to do? Right? And while they're watching him, they're leaving other guys open, where other guys could get a nice, clean, comfortable shot. So that's what makes Steph Curry so much more effective in this win against Boston, right? And, like Jayson Tatum wasn't horrible, right? He did have some key moments around the end of the game, maybe one or two crucial moments, effective moments, but it just wasn't enough. The game shouldn't even have been that close in the fourth quarter, in my opinion, okay? And that's what I'm saying. In times like this, when Jaylen Brown's out, they need Jayson Tatum to step up. And if Jayson Tatum's good, because I'm telling you, Jaylen Brown has that killer instinct. He has it, right? So I can't really say who's the better player. The only thing I could say is Jaylen Brown has that killer instinct, in my opinion, and I'm not seeing that with Jayson Tatum. I'm just not seeing it. And usually when it's not there, it's just not there. He's an extremely talented guy, and he's very athletic. But if he had that killer in him, you know what I mean? So we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. But it's unfortunate. I feel like that's one of the reasons why I love Boston, but at the same time, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all have a good day, and we will catch y'all soon. All right, cool.